I'm Bob Feldmeyer. I'm the director for the Center for Advanced Automotive Technology. We're located at Macomb Community College. We're one of 42 ATE centers, Advanced Technological Education Centers, around the country. We're funded by the National Science Foundation. What we do is try to develop education programs specifically aimed at educating technicians. But one of the other deliverables in our grant is trying to educate the general public. So what we're doing today is offering an electric vehicle ride and drive, so people have a chance to experience these. Most people have a very wrong perception of electric vehicles. They think they're very dull, slow, and boring. It's actually completely the opposite. You have instant torque and constant torque. They're really a lot of fun to drive. So we're hoping to get a lot of people through here today so they understand that electric vehicles are different than what they think. And this will hopefully encourage more people to want to get into the electric vehicle field.
Well, we're here at the Ride and Drive event, which is following our annual Center for Advanced Automotive Technology conference that we had today. And that conference brought together educators and industry, government agency, to talk about the trends within the automotive industry, where we've been, but more importantly, where we're going. And that's kind of indicative of the work that the CAAT, or center, does in bringing together industry, academia, and government agencies to collaborate together.
Events like the Ride and Drive and the conference are all part of the big picture for CAAT.
The work of the Center for Advanced Automotive Technology is working in collaboration with industry, with other educational partners, with government agencies. We're developing curriculum, we're disseminating that curriculum. We're really a key resource for community colleges within the region and across the country to take that curriculum that we're developing through working with industry and get it out to those colleges and universities and maybe some high schools too, to put it to work to develop the next generation of technicians to develop these type of technologies that are here today.
And cutting-edge technology was certainly well represented at the event. The Bosch Automotive Service Solutions team helped explain how electric vehicles are charged. And Michigan Technological University brought their mobile lab and classroom. The mobile lab enables Michigan Tech to take hands-on hybrid electric vehicle education right to working and displaced engineers, company employees, students, and communities, wherever they are. It features a powertrain test cell, electric hybrid vehicles, a portable chassis dynamometer, a smart interactive microgrid, and more. The over 200 attendees took the opportunity to test drive multiple makes and models of hybrid and electrified vehicles over a coned course. Some vehicles were donated by General Motors and Nissan. After having a chance to drive the vehicles, participants were asked about their experience.
Oh, it's a wonderful vehicle. The Tesla is more of a family vehicle, more room if you have a family. The car is very quiet. Of course, we were in the performance vehicle, and it was really, really nice. I really like seeing the screen on the dash, and the control was really nice. I like the handling of the vehicle, the acceleration. It was really, really nice. So I really enjoyed it. It was a pleasure taking a little spin in it.
This is the first time I've got a chance to drive an electric vehicle, and getting to drive the Tesla gives you a very good I don't know what to call it, perspective on them. It was definitely a neck breaker when you hit the gas, and it gets up and goes pretty quick. For an electric car, you wouldn't think it would, and there's no noise or any engine revving, and there's no waiting for the gears to shift. It's just ready to go right when you hit the gas.
So far today, I've just driven the Focus and I've driven the Tesla. And what I was most impressed with on both vehicles, though, is instant acceleration. I mean, it's just really, really quick, just without hesitation and that. And you don't feel any shift points or anything with them.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever driven an electric vehicle. I drove both the Tesla and the Volt. Liked them both. Tesla, obviously, higher cost and comfort. The Volt is what I would be more interested in, price range, and just, cost savings from not using gas. So it was interesting to find out how far it can actually go without kicking in the gas, both speed-wise and distance. But very impressed.
The Focus drove more like a conventional vehicle, but it was just so quick and so solid and smooth. It was very, very impressive. I guess out of the two, though, as far as drivability, even though the Tesla is like about 3 times the price, I like the Focus.
Awesome. I was so impressed with the quietness of all the vehicles. The thing that really blew me away pretty much with all of them was the responsiveness. I expected like a 4-cylinder type feel from the car as I was accelerating, and they were all quite responsive. I mean, you just hit the gas pedal and away you went, almost instantly.
We drove them all, actually. I actually enjoyed them. They're different. They're very quiet, and I like how they accelerate quick. The Tesla, I like how it has such a big screen. It's bigger than an iPad in the...
A lot of the technology on, I think it was the Volt, had the ball would turn colors if you weren't using the car efficiently, which I thought was really neat. So it kind of helps you get the most out of that charge that you have on the battery. So that's really helpful in terms of learning how to handle a new technology and a new mechanism. So
the performance really surprised me. I can't even describe in words.
The drivers were also asked to complete a brief survey. 99% of the participants rated the event as extremely or very valuable. Nearly 2/3 of respondents indicated their perceptions of electrified vehicles had changed.
My previous thoughts about electric vehicles would probably be that they don't really get up and go as fast because they are electric, they're not gas. And that was definitely not the experience when I sat in that Tesla, and it got up and went really quick.
I was just more impressed with what I even expected to see. The quietness and that instant acceleration was just amazing. It's super, super quick. And just how smooth, there's no shift points or anything like that. So it's definitely a really good selling point. If more people drove them, I think it would change their perception.
And I will say that Tesla took awesome care of that, because the gentleman in the car showed me the map where all the charging stations and like how you can still route a trip and not lose charge and be stranded anywhere. Like that, like how smart or how much smarter can you get in that situation? Like mine is blown to just completely right now, to tell you the truth.
I think people just have that paranoia of running out of a charge. Whereas, with gas in, but basically it's the same thing, because they do give you gauges in there and to see how far you have to go. And then the charge time versus filling up at a gas station, But once they get down pat that they can charge a car, within minutes, even faster than that. So I think that would really take a turn on things.
And for most of the kinds of driving that we do, I think a lot of those issues have really been addressed much more so than they were even just a few years ago for me. So because some of my misconceptions I have a new light on them now. So you really kind of have to have an open mind and check it out.
The Nissan Leaf here today, I had heard in the past that they didn't have the best range. The vehicle today has been going since, he said, around noon. It currently has 46 miles left of range, and it's about 8 o'clock at night right now. So it's been going all day, nonstop, and it still has plenty of battery left.
And 100% noted that their perceptions changed in a positive way.
It's the future. I mean, it's the 21st century. That's why I bought one. I mean, it's where we should be going. I mean, to be able to drive most of your daily driving without buying any gas.
Electric vehicles compared to regular vehicles, I would lean still more towards the regular vehicles, only because I'm not sure where the infrastructure is yet for it. And I know it's still pretty new and starting to get out there. But from what I've seen, over like the next 5-10 years, I think we'll be right there, and I could definitely make the move to electric.
Definitely, it's the future. Without a doubt, the electric car is the future. You can see with the supercharging stations and everything. Definitely, without a doubt in my mind, it's going to be the future. Gas-powered is very good and everything, but this is just a whole nother level. When it comes to quietness and performance and everything, it's a whole nother level.
I feel electric is definitely the way of the future. It's definitely cleaner and greener, and it's everything that everybody needs.
driving a Tesla is like driving a spaceship. That's the closest experience I can get to driving a spaceship. I'm like very thrilled about that. Actually, driving any of the electric cars is kind of like driving in a spaceship. Like the dash, the feel. I mean, they are the cars of the future.
The drivers also had some important observations to pass along to those unfamiliar with electric vehicles.
If I met anyone that was really interested in an electrical vehicle, I probably would tell them that there are wonderful choices out there and they should always go and look. And I'm an advocate of the Tesla, so I would definitely tell them about my experience in driving it and encourage them to go out and get one, because not only do you have a car note, but you won't even have to put the gas in there. It's less plugging it up at home. So I think it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Let's talk about maintenance. I've had the car for 3 years. I had the tires rotated. I'm still on 82% oil on my range extender. 3 years without changing the oil. Putting air in the tires. If you use the regen on the brakes, you rarely use the brakes. You're never going to wear out the brakes. No transmission. No parts. See where I'm going with this?
Well, first and foremost, I'd tell them to drive a Tesla if they could. Secondly, I would ask what type of vehicle they were looking for, and then make a decision on what type of electric or a hybrid or vehicle to, look into from that point. Because you can tell, this is one of the things you can tell thousands of people about them, but they really have to make up their own mind, I say. So just get behind the wheel and see how you like it.
I would say don't knock them till you try them. You gotta get in there and experience it first, and then decide what you want to do with them. Either you're going for performance or fuel economy. There's an option for everybody.
You got to try it. I think you definitely have to try it.
Buy one and don't look back. It's a car. It's not going to be a second car, it's not going to be a third car. It can be your main daily driver that you drive every single day throughout the whole entire year without any issues. It has plenty of range for all day-to-day use. It's everything that you need in a car.
Depending on what you need. Like I said earlier, if you want a good everyday commuter and you don't drive too much, the Leaf is a phenomenal choice. If you want unlimited range, a little more range, but still electric, the Volt or the ELR is a phenomenal choice. But if you can, go for the Tesla. That's all I can say.
Finally, participants were asked about the event itself.
An event like this, where you can actually come and see many different manufacturers, the different offerings they have, maybe some different trim levels, things like that, especially, and open it to the public like this, I think is a very advantageous.
This was a very helpful event because most of the questions I had about electric vehicles was how they handled and what it would feel like just to sit in them and to get a feel for the way things looked inside the car, or the cockpit, so to speak. Answered every one of the questions that I had. I feel confident that if I was to go take this to my girlfriend and say, hey, we need an electric car, I could explain it to her and she would be just as enthusiastic.
It's great that they had this event. I'm glad I got a chance to participate in it.
Oh, this is definitely an eye-opening event. This is something that I would suggest to everyone. I'm very grateful I got the chance to drive these. This is something that, definitely something to experience, definitely. Because then you get to see all the choices and everything, all the beautiful cars, and definitely something to experience.
I just like to see more of these events actually scheduled to get more people out here to experience it. I think that it's kind of an unknown to the average person. It's like when gas-powered engines first came to be, they're very, very skeptical about it. And I think this is a way of the future.
I enjoyed it, yeah. I got to drive some cars that I may never be able to afford.
I honestly never would probably go into a dealership and ask to drive an electric car unless the chance was given to me like this. We were here for extra credit, and that's really why we came. So I'm glad we did. We enjoyed ourselves.
Oh yeah, this was great. It had a little bit of everything for everybody. There were educational opportunities for the kids. They got to see some of the old technology and how it compares with the new. They got to talk to engineers about it. see how the cars work and how they're not driving yet, but they will be soon. And so it was really interesting, very educational, informative, and the best part was the hands-on, definitely the hands-on, getting to try the vehicles.
Anything you'd like to add to that, Mac?
It was all good.
It's all good. There we have it.
Based on the responses given, it looks like the Center for Advanced Automotive Technology accomplished their mission of getting more people interested in electric vehicles.